would worry about that. They want to make sure they've got the best out there, simple as that. But as a player, and some of the lads are quite experienced, they know how to manage the game time as well.
Yeah, no, I would have thought, given the fact that Leeds are doing pretty well, it'd be a nice feeling, you get back with your teammates and you think, right, from here on in, off we go.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at the games coming up, I'm really excited because, like you say, we've had the international breaks, they're kind of gone now, so we know for the next few months it's all about what we do. We're in a great position. We should be in a better position, if I'm being honest. We all kind of know that, but that's football. The results went okay for us again, like I mentioned yesterday. So again, it's what we do. We had a brilliant result there last year, and maybe a few of them lads will be thinking about that as well. But again, we've seen the team that we're putting out later. I'm sure you'll talk about that, Richard, in a minute. But it looks a really solid team again. I think he's picked a team today to go and win it. And we know they're hard to play against. They'll have a game plan, as everyone does. They don't concede too many goals. They don't score too many goals. So yeah, they'll be set up right to try and get somewhere. Again, I always say, with the quality we have, it's about what we do. Let's not worry about them. Of course, be good defensively, but go out and play with the pace we've got and the players that we have. I want the midfielder. I think the only thing I was a little bit disappointed in the last home game was our two midfield players weren't quite as efficient. Could have moved the ball slightly quicker. And they've been outstanding. So, I'm not digging them out at all. I'm just saying, from what I've seen so far, that was the game where they looked a little bit slow with the passes. Just get on that ball and move it quick, because that's what the players in the final third want, the ball in early. Okay,
we'll get onto the team news in just a moment. Just briefly on that, there are two changes. Joel Pires starts up front for Mateo Joseph, who's on the bench. We've seen that kind of flip around a few times during the season. And the other interesting one is Dan James comes in for Willie Gnonto, which means Manuel Solomon starts on the other wing today. Those are the two changes going into the match. Laji Ramazzani is back on the bench, and great to see him as well. We'll get stuck into that in just a moment. But before we do, let's hear from one of those players who, like we mentioned, has had a good week or so away with his national team and starts today in the starting 11 against a former club. There's a few of those today. Let's get the thoughts of Dan James.
Well, Dan, you find yourself back in South Wales shortly after a Wales international at Cardiff. Looks like a potentially tough game here at Swansea maybe today.
Yeah, for me it's always nice to come back. It's a team that's definitely in form. They don't concede many goals, so it's going to be a difficult test today.
They can get an atmosphere going inside this place, and with a visit of Leeds, that'll probably be the case today, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's Sunday afternoon. It'll be a packed stadium. It'll be a good atmosphere. It always is. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be one to watch.
The Welsh lads have all come back into the group surely in good heart after what you've achieved with the national side. Does that put everybody in a good mood for this one?
Yeah, definitely. For us, but they've got 3 or 4 as well from the national team, so they'll be in the same spirit.
Yeah, you'll have to keep your eye on Liam Cullen, perhaps.
Yeah, he obviously did really well against Iceland, 2 goals, 2 assists. So he's definitely one we need to keep an eye on today.
Yeah, thoughts Dan James, and we'll hear more from him before the match starts. We had an in-depth interview with him. It was really interesting to chat various things about our position this season compared to last season, and we'll get onto that. But just back to that team news for a moment, because that came through. I think a lot of Leeds fans, and this tells you quite a lot of the difficulty of picking a team, but also the quality that we have there. Dan James comes in. It's Willie Gnonto who's on the bench. He's a player who's been in some pretty good form. Manuel Solomon starts today. I guess that's probably the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose he's managing the game time for everyone. Has he had a little knock? We don't know. I would have expected Willie to have started. I'm a big fan of Willie Gnonto. I think he's got kind of everything in the final third. Even been getting back, tracking back, playing really well. But yeah, I think sometime when they make that change, when the player does come in, he's got to make sure he's at it. Otherwise, they'll change it over. But I think the manager's he's done it a few times, and I don't think it's a bad thing. That bad thing to do when you've got different players who've got the same type of quality, just let them go out and express it. And the competition is key for everyone.
Let's take a look. And it seems quite a while ago now, at that last match that Leeds United were involved in. When you have these international breaks, it just feels like they drag on forever. But it was, of course, that match here at Elland Road against QPR, and a 2-0 victory, though we left it kind of pretty late to seal the deal on that. And off the back of that defeat to Millwall, how important was it to come back home and make sure we got this win?
Yeah, it was. I think, like you say, I've always talked about our home forms being so important, and we're so good at home, and the fan base we have. And it was nice to see Bogle get a goal as well. When he first come into the team, he's trying to find his feet. He's got a lot of experience, good footballer. but it's great to get a goal. I think when you get your first goal for Leeds United, that just set, I don't know, it's a nice feeling. You all want to get that goal, and hopefully he goes on and gets a few more, because I think we need players from different parts of the pitch chipping in with a few goals this season as well. But Bogle, obviously getting his first goal is really important. Rothwell there, lovely ball in as well, wasn't it? And people, what I've seen here is people wanting to get on the end of stuff, and that's what I love from Bogle. They didn't let it go, and again, nice finish into the top bins there. But look how many numbers we've got in the box there. If you look at that, there are 5-6 players all want to try and get on it, and then it just drops to Bogle, and he finishes it nicely into the top bin. Yeah,
he's got a couple of goals for Leeds, so he's a player who can find the back of the net. And we knew when he signed here, as well as assists, he had weighed in for other clubs with goals. But great to see him get one there here at Elland Road. And I think the thing with the build-up to this is that what you don't see from the highlights reel, of course, but anyone who was here and watched the game will know that this goal came at the end of a period of pressure that Leeds had really applied over a few minutes. It was crosses coming in, it was really good delivery, and actually eventually if you keep doing that, it's going to pay off. Yeah,
like you say, we've got that much quality that if you keep putting the ball into the right areas, eventually you're going to get your opportunities, and luckily Bogle took that one. And then obviously, the goal from Peru again, he's the one, isn't he, that kind of always seems to score. Even when he comes off the bench or starts, he's the one that if he gets a chance, he's usually, I think he's our best finisher, to be honest. But is he an out-and-out striker? Sometimes he wants to play there, and obviously Mateo Jersey's play there. I'm not sure sometimes who's better in that position, and I'm sure the manager will have more of an idea than me. But I just look at that Peru there. You just know when he gets into that position, he's kind of the only person I think on the pitch for Leeds United who knows exactly what he's doing when he gets in that position. That's a lovely little touch, just over the keeper, just does enough. And the build-up in this play was brilliant as well. And look at this as he comes in here, just that little dink there. I mean, I probably wouldn't have tried that myself. I probably would have just smashed it. But yeah, lovely finish. And I think the one thing with him, you can rely on goals when he gets an opportunity.
Your dinks are like a 3 points in rugby union, I think, mate, when you try and dink it. I think
don't worry about that.
And just a moment as well to say, for Schmidt to be involved in that, to come as a substitute, and then you can see him celebrating, and it kind of gives him his first moment with the team. You want to come on, you want to contribute when you're not maybe starting games. Yeah, and I think listen, we're around the club, me and yourself at times. It feels like the atmosphere is great at the football club. We all know that. we all want the same as everyone else. But like you say, people coming on and getting game time like Smith, it's important because you feel part of it. Once you've played a few minutes in the game, starting the game's obviously key. But when you come on, he looked like he wanted to be out there and playing. Sometimes when I see subs coming on, I can see by the body language straight away. Sometimes they're not up for it already. So I want to see people when they come on, just like he did, with the right attitude when they get the opportunity to go out and try and make something happen. And he did. He had a go. Okay, let's get the thoughts of the Leeds United manager, who's been talking about Swansea. Swansea, of course, pretty much mid-table at the moment. They haven't been scoring that many goals, but he does say that today the team will pose a threat.
It's not easy to score goals against them. I think, especially due to the fact because there's so much in possession. So if they don't score own goals, then it's obviously not likely to score a goal against them. But I have to say they're also well structured against the ball. So it's not easy. So we have definitely to be on it. So I don't expect it will be a game when we can create 10 1-against-1 situation on the goalkeeper. So it's important that when there is even a half chance or a set piece or a strike out of distance, that we are really focused and grab this chance. And on the other hand, I have to say, when I analyze their games, they come into many good positions. So I like a lot what they do in the process, in the build-up and the midfield play. It's also why they are so much in control of many games, even against the best sides in this league. They were more or less dominating the games. I like their processes, so I'm pretty respectful and credit also to their manager, because I like a lot what they do in terms of the build-up, in terms of the midfield play. The only thing you can criticize perhaps is also lacking perhaps a little bit the cutting edge in the final third, but if we mention it too often right now, then it will be a game on Sunday when they will be unbelievably efficient. So for that, I don't want to say, come on, last week they were not that efficient. They have also players to do this. Like you mentioned, also Cullen will play with confidence after brace, and have also some other players who can score a goal and create a chance, and we are respectful. We have to be on it in this game, and I think it's a really good side, and I like the way they play football. hopefully they won't add this cutting edge in the final third on Sunday. But I'm pretty sure if they do this, they can be even finish even in a much better position than they are at the moment.
Yeah, thoughts there with Leeds United manager Daniel Farke, and of course, you know, we're going to Swansea. Last season we went down there, and I guess it's got to be in players' minds when you go down there. You remember what happened last season? We really tore them apart, especially in that first 10 minutes. A couple of quick goals, and we get a third one. And we never looked back in that game. I think that put us top of the table that day, actually, back in February. And it was some performance. And with a game like that, do you think to yourself today, well, actually, you know, if you can get yourself into an early lead, suddenly the players start remembering what happened last season for them, the fans do as well. Actually getting a good start here today could be key.
And I think with Swansea, it's like a confidence thing. If they were to score first, the confidence is up for them. It's the same for us. Confidence is key, but that performance at Swansea, I remember that game. I don't know if I did it here. Absolutely outstanding. We looked like a different level to them at that point, and you can see the balls are coming in, players are running into the right positions. It could have actually been quite a few more that day. So I think you do look at that and say, last time we played against each other, I know there's been a change in personnel within our group as well, but that's got to give you a little bit of a lift, you know, to go out there. And I think when you play away, for me, and a 3 o'clock kickoff. 3 o'clock for me was everything. I always remember just 3 o'clocks because I'm old. But when you get the opportunity, give these fans something as well who've travelled all this distance and mentioned that. But the quality we have, I'm a bit surprised that Willie's not playing, being honest, because obviously he did so well here last time. But I'm sure if he's needed, the manager will get him on. But yeah, it was a brilliant performance and that kind of condition for me is proper football weather. I like it like that. But when the ball's zipping around like that, we've got the players who like that style as well. Yeah,
it was a fantastic performance last season, and more of the same would be lovely. Just very quickly on that, when you look at the teams and you match them up, obviously Swansea haven't conceded that many. No. It's pretty similar to us really, but we've scored plenty more. But both teams like possession as well. They both rank pretty highly on the possession stats. It's going to make for an interesting game, this one, because they're at home as well. So as always, there is onus on a home team. It's quite difficult to know how this one's going to pan out.
Yeah, like you say, they don't concede many, don't score many, but I think from our point of view, I think when we play against a team like that, we're set up to counter teams. So if they give the ball away sloppily and we get in, you've got to go quick into them areas, and the players obviously out wide for us are quick. But when they get into them areas, they've got to make sure they've got the right quality, the right weight on the passes for people like Peru to get on the end of. We've got, like you say, we've got the tools within our final third, but I think today, away from home, we've got to be solid, got to be defensively minded. I mean, we've got a great defence. Obviously, Firpo's out, but we know we've got great backup coming in. But again, I just look at our back four. If we're defensively sound today, I generally do believe we'll win the game. And I've said this on numerous occasions, but the team that we've got out there today, and I'm looking at their team, we should be. No game's easy, but I just look at our team and the players that we have compared to theirs, and that's no disrespect for Swansea. They'll come to here today, and for them that'll be a scalp. You know, I've had that myself when I've been at certain clubs. Teams want to beat you; they want to showcase themselves, so they'll be up for this today. And like you say, the Swansea fans are always quite lively as well.
Okay, well, let's get the thoughts of our commentary team, who'll be bringing you all the action from 3 o'clock. Bryn Law and Tony Dirigo.
Let's give you the weather update first. It's really mild here, to be honest with you, and not particularly wet at the moment. So Storm Bert perhaps has shown us its worst. We saw that on the journey down here for sure, but not bad conditions for a game of football. Team news now, a couple of changes, Tony. No Nonto today, that's probably the headline in a sense.
It is a little surprise, but Dan James comes in, and no Joseph either. Peru comes up top, but I think you look at the quality we've got in those forward areas. It's important that we do have fresh legs up there and they're rotating at the right time, and clearly a couple of changes here. That's what Daniel Farke thinks.
And when you look to the bench, you see Ramazani back on it. Good news. Verba played a full game on international duty, so you've got a group of players who are beginning to get back somewhere like full strength again.
It's a really strong bench, and you look at those players and they can come on and make a difference, and that's important. You look at sometimes when we have a bench full of youngsters and you think, well, can they do what's required? Well, we have lots of players on that bench that can, so it's going to be important to do that. But what a chance we've got today. It's such an exciting game to be part of.
It is a big game, isn't it? And this is exactly the sort of fixture that you feel that Leeds need to be doing well in.
It is away from home. We know we haven't really got the points, I suppose, that our performance have deserved. At times we haven't performed to our best either. So 2 wins away from home is not enough. So these sort of games is where we need to improve. We need to get better. We need all 3 points.
Kind of a big prize potentially, isn't it, after all
Huge.
the other fixtures?
It is. It's wonderful, and as a player, that's exactly what you want. You see us drop down the table, but with a win, we go right to the very top of the table. Without, I feel, really hitting our stride to our maximum. So I think there's more improvement to come, but this is a great, certainly, prize if we can get up there, and the sooner you are at the top, the better for me.
So there you go. That's potentially the big prize for Leeds United in another big championship game here at Swansea.
Yeah, and Brendan Tony will be up on the gantry, bringing you, like I say, all that action. 3 o'clock kickoff today, available in selected territories. Head to the LUTV website to get your match day pass. Yeah, interesting. Tony, echoing what you were saying earlier on, maybe the squad's doing well, but haven't quite reached their full potential yet. There's more to come, would you say?
I just think in the final third, can we deliver balls in better? Can we get on the end of them? Can we put them in the back of the net? We're not far away from being a really, really strong, efficient team in the Championship. And I think, obviously, we know we go top today, but without playing, as Tony mentioned, without playing brilliantly, shows the quality that we have within our ranks. So, again, with just a little bit of a few more good results and defensively keeping them clean sheep and making it hard for other teams, I generally do think, and I've said it in the last lounges, last game at home, I really fancy us this season. And the squad depth that we have and the players and the group that we have, it just feels right at the moment. And I've not seen too many teams as well that are that great, being honest. I think we've got the best squad, simple as that. We just got to make
Is it a weaker league than last year?
I think so. I think we're speaking to a lot of the lads in the lounges and different places. They've all said that quite similarly. It's a really important. I think this next 4 or 5 games will tell us where we're going to be this season. Whether we're in a trying to battle to get into the playoffs or trying to go and win it. I think we've got a capable squad that can go and win this league. And hopefully I'm not wrong. I've said it in all the lounges, so stand by what I said. I think we've got a great group of players that have got a real opportunity to take charge of this league. And starting tonight.
For that to happen, and Tony touched on it there as well, the away form does have to pick up, doesn't it? I mean, 2 wins at this stage of the season away from home. All right, there was a draw at Bristol City. That game never quite really got going. Defeat at Millwall. I'm thinking about the Sunderland, obviously, in the last moment. These things, from time to time, freak things happen, and there's a couple of points dropped there as well. But really, if Leeds are going to push, the home form's ticking along very nicely now. There was a defeat at home to Burnley, but apart from that, it's been ticking away nicely. But really, these away games, we need to start seeing a better return. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people, again, within the Leeds, the group that I'm involved with, they're all saying, we just need an out-and-out striker to put the ball in the back of the net. And we like Mateo Joseph and we like all the other lads in playing that kind of area, but I generally still believe that we do need a main out striker. Pat's done well for us, been great for us, but I just feel like that is the one position I feel if we had a proper striker, I'm not saying these lads aren't proper striker, but another one to that group, I generally feel would strengthen us so much.
Yeah, in terms of strength, and see back on the bench as well, I want to mention, we mentioned him briefly at the start, but Largi Rabatzani, who was on really terrific form before he got that injury, and that was in the game, I'm pretty sure, against Watford, where we were all over them, and then he got sliced down,
He did.
Their heads were all over the place at that point. We were 2-0 up at that point, and it looked relatively innocuous, but actually ended up being, a good few weeks out for him. How frustrating for him to be in that kind of form, to get an injury, and how difficult is it now to get back up to speed when you've been out for a little bit?
Well, I think the manager's obviously showing confidence in him, picking him again after being out for a little while. He's obviously got a lot of quality. We've seen in his performance, when he gets on the ball, he makes things happen. He's electric as well. He's not scared as well to go by people, and when he gets by him, sometimes get his shot away quicker. That's the one thing I say about him when I've seen him. He's very good he's got really quick feet, but get your shot away quick. Because as a goalkeeper, that's what you don't want. When someone can get them shots away quick and early, because obviously today might be a bit of a skinny surface. I just feel he's got loads of quality, and like you say, the manager's showed a lot of faith in putting him straight back into the team.
All right, Dom, quick prediction from you then for today's game. Are Leeds going top?
I did say 3-1, so yes.
3-1, and Leeds going top. We will take that. Okay, it's a big one in the Sky Bet Championship. Let's head to our commentary team. Hopefully give us another moment. Probably not quite as extreme as the Hernandez moment that Bryn got to commentate on a few years back, but hopefully some good moments this afternoon. Let's head over then to Swansea with Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Croeso I Abertawe, welcome to Swansea, where we are looking forward to Leeds' return to action after the final international break of 2024. Leeds come out of that international break finding themselves in 4th place in the Championship table after yesterday's results, but with an opportunity to go top if they can win this one against Swansea this afternoon. So the prize is a significant one, as the season now really does begin to heat up as we move through November into December, January and onwards. Every game carries that little bit extra significance. It's been quite the week in terms of the weather here in the UK. Wherever you're joining us from today, let me tell you that Storm Bert has caused some significant issues, particularly from a travel perspective this weekend, and this is just about